So, yeah. So there you are. It's been a while.
I mean, just let the music talk.
Let the music do the talking.
It's definitely been a while.
Well, it's been a while.
Somebody went to the beach.
Someone went to the beach. Someone looks like he went to the beach.
You still look pale.
Really?
I mean, we're an Italian. I expect you to come back brown, my friend.
Well, I burned real bad before I
Yeah.
came, so the sun was it was hot. I mean,
You're not a dark-skinned Italian.
no, which I hate.
Like me.
No, you're naturally you and Becky.
Right.
Becky's like that. But
Is she
yeah,
Italian?
yeah, half and half.
Oh, she's like me.
The mom is the mom. Oh yeah, meatball, total meatball.
That's right.
God rest her.
She's Irish and Italian.
God, yeah, the
Just
dad.
like me.
The dad is, yeah. So, anyway, there you are. I remember you. I hope you remember us. Welcome back to the sack on a wet my whistle Wednesday. The redoubtable one himself, Tom Izzo. The highly questionable one back in the hissy. And yes, for the glorious return, we got a little tomato, little olive, little doctor in the hizzy.
What else are you going to have?
What else are you going to have? You know, and you know why? Because tonight is a special night. We are T-minus 23 hours from the kickoff of the NFL season, boys and girls. Don't tell me you weren't thinking about it.
Less.
Less. Yeah, 23 hours.
It might be like 22 and a
22,
half.
so, well, it's 8:20. 8:20-ish. You know, they got to do the whole, right, drop the thing for the banner and all that crap, and the jets fly overhead and all that shit.
22.
8:22, 8:20-ish, something like that. Yeah.
So like 22
So-
hours and...
Yeah. And what's looking like more and more like a Donnie every minute because the Chiefs are dropping like just left and right. You got Chris
Yikes.
Jones.
Well, he's
Chris
not dropping.
Jones
He's just hanging.
wanting some more dead presidents, and Travis Kelce in a non-contact practice hyperextends the knee. 34 years old. What was I telling you, America? Man's got mileage. Now. He's questionable.
He just walks with a limp now. He'll be all right.
And the team coming in.
Dude, you're overrating them.
Oh, I am not. No, I am not.
You sure?
Yep.
Everybody's falling in love with the Lions.
And with good reason.
Maybe.
And with good reason. I think they are the third or fourth best team in the NFC right now. Third or fourth.
Man, I think they're getting hyped up.
That team with nobody know who they were, no one thought they were nothing, dropped 35 on that Eagles defense. That's a fact. So
It was the first week.
yeah, and they only
Eagles jumped out to a big-ass lead in that game and then just fucking sat around.
Falcons jumped out to a big-ass lead in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Whoops. No lead is safe in the NFL. If you're dumb enough to not believe football is 60 minutes long, you haven't been watching football. Because we see this all the time.
If you're dumb enough to think that teams don't get lackadaisical when they go up by 3 scores,
That's the human element, though.
Exactly.
But the thing is,
It
they
doesn't mean
shouldn't.
that they're that
They
good to
shouldn't. They shouldn't get lackadaisical.
it happens.
You know,
though.
let me tell you why they got lackadaisical.
It
Because
happens.
let me tell you why they got lackadaisical. Because they thought Detroit was shit.
Right.
That's why, and they found out they weren't, and they're not.
But if
Okay.
Philly plays them again, that's not what happens.
No, if Philly plays them again, they might lose to them.
No.
Because this team is better than that one was. And I don't think Philly got better. Philly didn't get better on paper. They did not.
So how did the Lions get better?
Defense, they got better.
Well, they're yeah.
And by the way, that running back they drafted,
Gibbs.
look out for him.
But I mean, they already had.
They have
good
one of the
backs.
best offensive lines in football. Jared Goff. Stop. I tell you who people are sleeping on. Jared Goff. He's already been to a damn Super Bowl. Hey, as a quarterback in Dallas that gets 10 times hyped, and been to a fucking conference championship.
How many people are sleeping on Goff? He's a little up and down.
He was all up after that dickhead got fired. Speaking of dickheads, that dickhead's in Philly. And we still don't know what his role is, do we, America?
He's not doing it.
Isn't that right, Joel? We don't know what his role is.
You think he's drawing up plays?
We
in
do
there?
know this. Philly has 5 new starters on defense and a new defensive coordinator. We do know that. And when it comes to coordinators, the Patriots actually have one now, which that's kind of scary given that team won 8 games last year with a bumbling boob for a coordinator and no weapons. So the bottom line is this is going. I'll tell you what, and his team is another one. That Sunday night game. I get why he's used to the Giants letting him down. But
Dallas is going to win that game.
I don't think they are. I don't think they are.
If the Giants beat Dallas,
The Giants.
then what you're saying
The
could be
Giants
true.
are capable of beating Dallas now.
Of course.
They didn't have enough weapons in the passing game last year to do what they do now. And I'm telling you right now, and by the way, the Giants have the better coach. I don't care what you tell me. The Giants have the better coach.
I agree with that.
All right?
McCarthy has a Super Bowl, but he also had Rodgers.
He had Rodgers and he had a top 5 defense when they did it. No, he hasn't
He
done
had Rodgers and weapons.
He's had Rodgers for 16 years.
Who was Rodgers number 1 when they won?
Was Jordy Nelson? Or was it Freeman? No, not Freeman. Who
Was it Greg?
Jennings.
Was it
Greg
Jennings?
Jennings, who was, stud. He was a stud.
He was a stud.
He was a stud. I mean, the funny thing about Rodgers is, and you know what? No one brings this up. But since and by the way, we're going to bash on Aaron all night tonight. But the bottom line
We have
is,
no direction right now. We're bouncing all
it doesn't matter. It's opening. This is the beauty of all these storylines. Here's one for you, America. You know how the Green Bay Packers always got Rodgers openly criticized them about not drafting a receiver in the first round? Well, let's look at the ones they did draft. Jennings, Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams.
Pretty good.
You going to look me in the eye, America, and tell me they didn't get him weapons? Look at the two-headed monster running back he left behind. Those two, Aaron Jones and Dillon there. That two-headed. You telling me he had no weapons?
Were you going to say Brooks and Dillon? It sounds like a law office.
No, they're law firm.
No,
Jones and Dillon work.
Brooks and Dillon.
Jones and Dillon and Jones? Jones and Dillon? Jones and Dillon?
J&D.
J&D? J&D law offices? J&D ground and pound?
J.D. Associates at the law.
Yeah. Bottom line is Aaron Rodgers was never devoid of weapons. Aaron Rodgers got everything he wanted. He just didn't get it in the order he wanted it, which reeks of prima donna. And by the way, that's what most people think of him in Green Bay now. So, because they watched him for 18 years.
Have you seen the stupid story told on Hard Knocks about seeing a UFO?
Oh, no.
So dumb.
Why? Why? Just why?
We saw this big thing of light.
Only I see is your bullshit.
Dude, I was rooting for the Jets, and watching Hard Knocks ruined it a little bit.
I can't imagine why.
Because when they played the Giants, they were so annoying.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Get used to it, America. And by the way, who was the cornerback who talked about, oh, man, did you see what Mad Dog did today?
No.
Oh, Mad Dog blew them up.
Oh, you're talking about Reed, who said that
they could be the 85 Bears. Oh, Mad Dog lost his shit.
I think he's a safety.
And by the way, he should have. He's like, and what he said was, what? The 85 Bears? You haven't even been to a playoff. That team was, that might be the greatest defense ever. What the fuck are you talking about? They allowed 12 points a game. 12. Okay. They went 18-1. They had one loss, and it was at Miami with some guy named Marino. Maybe you've heard of him. Who was coming off an MVP year when he set the NFL record for touchdown passes. No shame in that one. That was
his rookie year?
No, it was the second year.
Second
year he did that. The bottom line is, and look, you know, and this, I forget the girl's name on First Take. She got the big nails, and she covers the Jets and the Eagles. She's a sweetheart of a girl, but she needs to knock it off with the whole you got to believe in you before anybody else does. No shit, Sherlock. What you don't do is give your opponent bulletin board material, because every time the Jets open their mouth, it goes on another bulletin board.
Dude,
the bullseye is already big enough. This is why I told them I didn't want to do this. And by the way, Mad Dog backed me up because you know who's never done Hard Knocks? Bill Belichick. And he had Tom fucking Brady. Okay? And he wouldn't do it.
Now, so here's the thing. I don't want to be a hypocrite because I said that they needed to lean into the hype.
Yes, you did.
Now, I agree with that, but that doesn't mean being a prick. Okay, leaning into the hype means don't back down from it. Don't shy away from it.
And I agree with that.
Right. But to go to put on a display of just assholery and say these things, and I know they're just answering questions, but you've got to be smart enough to understand what a reporter is doing when they ask you a question.
There's a way to answer a question.
No, but like Aaron Rodgers,
you can be confident without being.
After beating the Giants in a fucking meaningless preseason game where the Giants didn't play their starters, Aaron Rodgers yelled Jet Life Stadium as he was running off the field.
That's Aaron Rodgers.
Fuck him.
The guy who bragged about owning the Chicago Bears. Way to go, Aaron. One Super Bowl. Boy, you really own them Bears, didn't you?
The Bears who have been
Yeah,
quarterbackless.
it wasn't the Cubs. You own the Cubs.
The Bears have been quarterbackless for 20 years.
They finally get one and you leave. Yeah.
Yep.
Convenient. But by the way, you made a mistake because you went to the wrong fucking division, pal.
Wrong conference.
Wrong conference altogether. You've been better off going to the NFC South. That's what you should have done.
Wild cards don't come easy in the
No,
NFC.
you should have gone to the NFC South and gone to New Orleans or Atlanta, somewhere like that. That would have been smart.
So here's the thing. I still hold a place for the Jets in my heart, but I have a real hard time rooting for Aaron Rodgers. So the Jets overall, they're my dad's team. I root for the Jets.
How's your dad? Is your dad liking this?
I already told you my dad doesn't believe it.
Doesn't believe what?
He doesn't believe in it. He was like, they've done this before. They did it with Boomer Esiason. They did it with Brett Favre, and it didn't work either of those times. That was the first thing my dad said.
Both those guys were league MVPs. Mm-hmm. Dad's got a point. And what has Rob Saleh done? I swear to God, this kid, Kimberly Martin, I think is her name, the girl on ESPN. Kimberly Martin. Rob Saleh, yeah, and I swear to God, Mad Dog's looking at her going, Rob Saleh? Who the fuck is Rob Saleh? What the fuck has Rob Saleh done? Oh, yeah, we need more guys like that. Oh, really? What's Rob's resume? How many rings are on Rob's fingers, Kimberly? Okay? Hey, you know what Rob Saleh said last year, Kimberly, when they were 5-2, 6-2? We're taking receipts. You know what those dickheads did? They lost 6 of the next 7. There's your Rob Saleh, Kimberly Martin. You gotta believe in yourself before everybody else does. Wow. That psychology class really paid off, Kimberly. Give me a freaking break, Kimberly Martin. And Stephen A. Smith, to his credit, was a gentleman about it. But he was looking at her like she had 3 heads. No, because he wanted to light her up. He wanted to light her up.
So why didn't he?
Because I'll tell you why he didn't. Because
she's on the show just like him.
I know.
Anybody can
it's
get
not
it.
that he didn't. It's not that he didn't go back at her.
That's weak.
But he just didn't.
He should have been real.
He didn't look at her. He didn't go, "What are you, crazy?" Like, and by the way, Mad Dog basically did. Mad Dog goes, "Really? Rob Saleh, huh? Okay. How many Hall of Fame ballots is he on? Okay. What has Rob Saleh done? Rob Saleh has proven that you can say the wrong thing at the wrong time. Like when your team is 6-2 and you start telling the media we're taking receipts. What head coach does that?
And then have it blow up in your face.
Yeah.
That shows you were scared when you said that.
Why would you? You don't say that.
If you're scared, you do.
Well, yeah. But the thing is, you're the head coach. You can't put that bullseye on your team's back.
No.
And he's doing it on Hard Knocks. You know what I can't? This was great. Kimberly Martin, this is what Rob Saleh said on the last Hard Knocks I saw because they played it. Kimberly Martin was eating up like an idiot. That idiot Mike Greenberg. He's like, yeah, you know what I can't stand? He's talking to this like the last time he addresses the team, like on the last episode. He goes, when I run to the 50-yard line and the opposing coach says to me, man, your guys play hard. And he goes, fuck you. I'm here to fuck you up. I don't want to play hard. I'm sick of fucking playing hard. I'm not playing hard. I'm here to fuck you up. I'm like, what are you, 5? What's the guy supposed to say when you've lost 6 in a row? Man, you guys really suck. Is that what he's supposed to say, Rob? What's he supposed to say, Rob? By the way, was he lying? Do you guys not play hard? What the fuck's he supposed to say? You know, he's trying to find something positive to say to you.
The first thing somebody's going to say to him when they beat him?
You guys play hard.
You guys play hard.
Sure play hard. Sure play hard.
Great effort.
Hey, Rob.
Great effort.
Hey, Rob. Have we filled every fucking bulletin board in the NFL yet, Rob?
I mean,
is there one you've missed?
Tell me you don't take them out. That's the first thing you're saying to him.
Of course it is.
Team played hard, buddy.
Team played hard tonight, man. I tell you. I know you don't want to hear that.
Hey, dude.
But it's true.
Wish we had more like you.
I wish we did. Wish we had 45 just like all of them. Seriously, what the fuck? And then cut to Kimberly Martin. Yeah, mic drop. Yeah, I'm like, wow.
Mic drop?
That she literally went like that. I'm like, are you kidding me? What the? So now, not only has his players slapped the bulletin boards of the NFL with me, now he just gave every head coach something. Oh, so when I try and say something nice to you, that's what you're thinking? Oh, that's going to go over like a fart in church.
Yeah.
Way to go, Rob.
Or maybe you walk up and say, man, your team sucked tonight.
Yeah. By the way, what if they said that? What would you? Because by the way, that's the other thing they could have said.
They could say that.
They didn't say it.
Y'all look like trash.
Yeah, man, you guys suck. What happened?
Quarterback?
You guys really took a bath.
Zach Wilson?
Number 2 pick, huh? Nice move.
Whew.
So when's the GM getting fired?
Quite the GM you got.
I mean, all of these things could have been said, Rob. But no, the opposing coach took the high road and threw you a compliment. Because your guys do play hard, and they played hard all season. And there's nothing wrong with them saying that. It's not insulting. It's not condescending. Unless, to your point, Tom, you're an insecure prick. Because that's what that sounds like.
He doesn't... All right, now this is not really fair, but I'm going to do it anyway because, what the fuck, we're two guys talking shit.
Well, he's been talking enough shit for everybody.
What I'm about to do is not fair, but, like, nothing he does ever feels authentic.
Nope.
And now that could be complete bullshit because I don't know the guy. He could be being 100% himself, but it all feels very mechanical and rehearsed and thought through as opposed to just be yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Just be yourself because that's how you're going to win anyway.
Well, maybe he is being himself. He's an insecure prick.
Yeah.
Because maybe that's who he is. And I got news for you. If that's who he is, that guy shouldn't be running your football team. Because I got news for you.
I mean, he used to run the San Fran defense.
If this team doesn't get to the Super Bowl, the first guy getting fired is Rob Saleh.
Well, that'd be the easiest thing to change.
The easiest thing to do. Yeah.
You change him.
And by the way, all he's been doing by running his mouth is giving his employer all the ammo to fire him if they fail. Because the more they talk, the more they push their chips into the table. And he's doing this at the wrong time in the wrong conference. And his golden boy has maybe the worst offensive line in the AFC. That's bad. Because I got news for you. Yeah, they're one of the worst. If they're not the worst, them and the Dolphins. Talk about stupidity.
Dolphins, that's awful.
Listen to me. And I said
that's
this.
Neglect.
All of it.
Negligence.
If you're the Jets and the Dolphins, every fucking draft pick should have been an offensive lineman. Every fucking one of them. And if I'm a Jets fan or a Dolphins fan, I'm trying to figure out.
Jets went defense.
What the fuck? What? You already got a defense.
No, they did. They drafted a center.
When?
This year.
What round?
I think it was second round.
One guy. There's 5 linemen.
I think they got a first or second rounder last year. I mean, I guess he wasn't good enough.
Listen, you have 5 holes to fill. 1 or 2.
Well, they think Mekhi Becton is filling right tackle.
What did he do last year that made you confident in him? I mean,
never got on the field.
I'm saying he was never even on the damn field. Look, I'm just saying that if your asset in a passing league, it's the fucking quarterback. The first thing you do, to your point, is if you don't get a number 1 wide, or if you protect your fucking quarterback. Yeah. Start with the left fucking tackle, and work your way in.
Well,
what the fuck?
I think it's even worse in Miami.
It is worse, I think.
Because this guy's gonna die.
Yeah, he might. I'm scared. I'm actually scared for him.
Like, that's the fucked up part of that is like, Aaron Rodgers knows how to move around in the pocket.
No, he'll throw the ball away.
He
won't take
doesn't
a
take
hit.
crazy hits.
Yeah, he'll be smart about it.
Tua's going to get hurt, and that sucks.
I mean, no, Tua's going to.
Because he's good.
Yeah, he is good, and I like him.
He seems like a good guy.
I mean, I hate him because he's a Dolphin, but I like him as a person.
He seems like a good guy.
He's a good dude. He seems like a good dude. And so I don't want to say anything. Look, I don't care who it is. I don't want to see anything bad happen to anybody. I can't stand Travis Kelce. I didn't want to see him get hurt. He's a great player. I don't want to see him get hurt.
No.
That sucks.
Okay,
not. You don't want to see that. I mean, anybody wishes. If you wish that on somebody, something's personally wrong with you. You need fucking help.
There's a couple pricks I might have wished something on.
I'm sure there's
only
one.
If they were pricks.
I'm sure there's one. Okay, there's always one.
John Rocker.
Yeah, maybe.
You throw your shoulder out
look,
of place.
there's always one guy. Bill Laimbeer is a perfect example. Draymond Green. Draymond Green punched out his own teammate for Christ's sake.
Snap your ankle. Anytime.
If you got to punch your own teammate out to get your Draymond Green, and that, by the way, that derailed them.
You have no shame.
You have no shame. And Draymond Green has no shame. And Draymond Green thinks he's better than he is.
Dude, the Warriors organization has no shame.
None.
That they kept him.
None.
I'm sorry.
None. That's dumb. He's dumb.
Weak.
Yep, it's weak sauce.
But anyway, I think they both needed to go, but to keep him?
No.
What a concession.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to win a title.
No.
Unless they bring in some other
not until they replace him with
put up with his shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the NFL. Fuck Draymond. He's not worth a squirt of piss. Anyway, the bottom line is the Jets are setting themselves up. The Jets are setting themselves up to fail big time. And he's been kind of stewing over it for a couple of weeks now. Kind of every now and then, like, I don't know, this is not looking to. This is getting.
Well, because a couple of weeks ago, I saw the episode and I was like, they're in awe of their quarterback, and that's.
And you're
trouble.
right about that.
That is trouble.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah.
Yes, you want to know. You look at that guy. You know he's fucking leading you.
Well, you want to believe in him.
But if you're looking at him like, Man, I've seen him on TV my whole life.
Yeah, you know what you've seen him do? You've seen him choke in the playoffs your whole fucking life. Because that's what you've seen.
But you got to see him as a peer. You
He
got to
hasn't,
be able to work with
he
him and
hasn't been to a
collaborate with
Super
him.
Bowl in 12 years.
No.
That's what you've seen. I don't care about this is what this is what I laugh about. And people always say this shit. They talk about and it drives me up a wall because every time I hear it, it blows up in their face. I'm sick and tired of hearing how physically talented all these fucking guys are. It's the least important part of the position. If that was all that mattered, Aaron Rodgers would have 8 Super Bowls right now. He would. Okay, John Elway wouldn't have taken 17 years to win one. Given how talented John Elway was. Go fucking pull up a tape of John Elway. You're going to see Patrick Mahomes in that era. And they could kill you in that era.
The only one that stands out in my mind is when he ran and got fucking... Remember when he got propellered?
That was in the Super Bowl.
Helicopter.
Yeah, he dove.
Yeah.
But look back early in his career. He's fucking Patrick Mahomes.
He was athletic.
As hell.
Yeah.
As hell. Steve Young.
He was a baseball player, right?
Yeah, he was. John Elway was a stud athlete. I'm telling you. Fucking Randall Cunningham. Look, Randall Cunningham did things I still haven't seen people today do. Randall Cunningham was a fucking freak.
Yeah, see,
okay?
I saw Randall Cunningham end of his...
I'm saying, the thing is, it's not talent is the least important part. Michael Vick. How many fucking Super Bowls has Michael Vick got? All I heard about for 10 years, most talented fuck. How many fucking Super Bowls he got?
Dude, his arm though.
It ain't about, Jeff George had probably the best arm I've ever seen. No one knows who the fuck he is.
But the way Vic could be on the run and throw a fucking laser 40 yards.
That's just physical.
I know. I'm not disagreeing with you.
I'm saying.
I agree.
So
I just said I'm not disagreeing with you. That's.
You were close.
I was very close.
You almost slipped, America.
I'm just saying, when Michael Vick would throw a deep ball, it was amazing.
No, he had all. No one. Look it. He's as talented.
And he was lefty too.
He's as talented. Well, Steve Young.
Yeah.
Best lefty I ever saw.
Boomer Esiason.
Boomer Esiason, another one. I'm saying, look, and Boomer was Boomer was a runner too. I'm saying.
Boomer ran?
Oh, a lot. Oh yeah. Jim McMahon for Chicago was a head first. Like he's Josh Allen before Josh Allen.
Well,
big arm and would run.
He's the story of concussion.
Yeah, he's the why you shouldn't do it. He can't remember why he walks into a room, but the bottom line is the physically gifted quarterback is not.
Throw that in there.
No,
he can't remember when he
walks into a room.
But
he
the
can't.
physically gifted.
No, I'm saying, but I'm sick and tired of hearing this.
No, you're right. Well,
it doesn't. By the way, it's never yielded the results.
You know what's interesting?
Never.
You know what's interesting though?
What?
If there's somebody that's smart enough to, and there have been, obviously, but
do you know what the
to
league,
have all that physical talent and be smart enough to know what to do with it?
Do you know what the league?
That's a rare combination.
Do you know what the league has done to set these guys up to win? You can't touch them anymore. The rules are encouraging this.
Dude, I'm interested
because it's fantasy football TV.
Anthony Richardson.
Yes.
Dude, but I watched a clip of him. I think I might have sent it to you.
Dude, 20 years ago, he couldn't have played in this league.
Dude, but I watched a clip
of him. Now he can.
I watched a clip of him.
Yeah.
With, who the hell was it? It wasn't Gruden. Who's another guy that does the quarterback stuff? Oh, it was Steve Mariucci.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 49ers coach.
Yes, old 49ers coach. Yeah, good coach.
He was on that staff.
And good commentator.
Yes, he was. Yes.
So he's got Anthony Richardson in there, right? And he's teaching him new terminology. Mm-hmm. He's like, what do you know about the West Coast offense or whatever the fuck? Yeah. And he was like, nothing. So Mariucci goes, all right. And he starts telling him all the terminology. Mm-hmm. He draws a play up there. He tells them what each person does, where they go, what they're called.
Yep.
And then he flips the board around and he goes, all right, draw the play. And he drew the play, word for word, knew every position, knew the language, knew where everybody went. And I was like, that's impressive.
Check out the big brand on Brad.
Right. But I mean, for a young guy coming out of college,
no, that's impressive.
To sit in a meeting, especially a guy like that who everybody says he's a runner.
No, he's more. He's got
you know what I'm saying? But then
he's got an arm.
You see him in that.
I've seen him do shit like Trevor Lawrence where he rolls out and he throws a bullet
across.
Yeah, I've seen him do shit like that. He did it in Florida. No, he's got an arm.
And he can also run over people.
No, he can do both. I'm just saying that's Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Boomer Esiason. That's fucking Jim Kelly. That's fucking John Elway. This is not new. It's not new. Okay? The thing about all these fucking guys is none of them are the GOAT. None of them are Joe Montana. None of them are Peyton Manning. None of them.
So?
I'm saying that it's not about talent. That is the least important trait of a quarterback. It is. Dan Marino couldn't run from here to there, but that motherfucker could get that ball out. He had a fucking cannon, and he was.
What about when they say arm talent? So arm talent is key.
Accuracy.
Although
it's when they have arm strength, but be accurate too. Marino was accurate.
Accurate is crazy.
He had arm strength, and Elway was like that. Elway had
see guys that can legit put it where they want it.
Elway had arm strength and accuracy. That's why Elway is still talked about. Not
Most
just because
accurate
of his
quarterback of all time is a TB12.
Yeah, given he played in both eras and he did it. He played in the era when they could take your head off, and he played in the era where now you.
What about by the numbers? Who would it say it is?
Well, his career rating
like completion percentage
is like 66%, and he played in both eras. So
is that top 3?
It's probably top 5. I'd say it's top 5 in terms of, again, you have to go by a minimum number of attempts.
Sure,
whatever that is.
The guy played.
And
the guy played at the end of his career when he wasn't even as good as he was.
The thing is, in his last year, he was 3-1 with no offensive line at 45 years old, and no running game.
His bad year was like an A+ year.
His bad year, his last year in New England, he was 4-1, and he got run out of town. He threw for in his last year in New England. Everybody thought he sucked. He threw for 4,000 yards, and he had 4-1 touchdown. If Danny Dimes had a fucking year like that, they'd be fucking making him a statue.
Exactly.
But that's where Tom Brady set the bar. And Montana and Manning and guys like that. Marino, these guys, they didn't have to move. All they had to do was know how to move 2 steps this way, 2 steps that way, and buy 1 more second. And that's all they didn't. And by the way, that's why they lasted. And that's why Michael Vick didn't last, because he never learned to do that. And that's why Josh Allen is in danger of not lasting. That's why Tua's in trouble now, because he hasn't learned how to do that yet.
Tua doesn't run.
He doesn't have a chance to run. He gets fucking tattooed before he can run. But what Tua doesn't know how to do is get rid of the ball. He holds on to it too long.
Maybe.
That's the other problem. Sometimes the safe play is to throw it away and punt. And these guys don't want to do that. Or duck. Yeah.
Just go down.
Take the knee and don't take the hit.
Right.
I mean,
if you see a fucking 6'7", 280 coming at you,
dude, these defensive ends
go down to it.
They're
fucking scary.
They're scary. They're 6'4", 6'7" in that range. They're quick. They got long arms.
Anywhere from 240 to 260
to 290, and they got track speed.
290 is crazy.
The guy the Pats drafted from Georgia,
290?
the guy Keon White from Georgia Tech, he's 6'5", 290. And look how fucking fast he is. And lean.
Somehow you're
he's a lean 290. How the fuck are you a lean 290?
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
You literally have concrete muscles.
Yes. And he's not the only one in that league like that. It's like, so.
That's wild.
This is where I give guys like Brady and Manning even more credit in Montana, and because they remember Bruce Smith? Holy fuck. Bruce Smith is still a freak of nature. I remember looking at Bruce Smith in the studio and like, that dude didn't even look like a human. He looked like a fucking, I was like, oh my God, he's jacked. He had the muscles were coming through his suit, like fucking 6'5", freaking 300. He was 6'5", 300 pounds. Are you kidding me? And by the way, Bruce Smith for Buffalo.
He was 300 pounds.
He was 300 pounds. Around 300 pounds, like 290, something like that. But he was if he was
280.
He was chiseled. He was a Greek statue that could move.
Yeah, he was fit.
I mean, so these quarterbacks have to deal with all that on top of everything else. You got to know when to throw the ball away. That's why Tua was in this mess, because he holds on.
He goes hike and he gets killed.
He gets killed, and it's look, if you got to throw. And the thing is, this is where the Miami, this water boy, this glorified bean counter, needs to come up with an offense where he can throw the ball out in 2 seconds, because he's got number ones on the outside to get open.
Ooh.
Waddle and the cheetah.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the head coach.
What's a glorified bean counter?
Yeah, well, he looks like an accountant. Does he look like a football coach to you? Your guy, Dayball, looks like a football coach.
I know.
Campbell for Detroit, he looks like a football. Mike Tomlin looks like a football coach. Okay, that dude looks like your accountant.
Did Bill Walsh look like a football coach?
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he had that Tom Landry-like thing to him. He looked like a general. He was that dude.
See, I don't like that look.
No, but he wasn't a jerk about it.
No.
There are guys that are jerks about it. Bobby Knight was a jerk about
Mike
it.
McCarthy look like a football coach? Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he's stubby.
He's got that stubby, stocky. He's got that round face.
Not fair, though. Tell him he doesn't look like a coach.
He doesn't look like a coach. Doesn't mean he isn't one. I'm saying he
Is
doesn't
he
look
one?
like. He's not. Would you pick him out of a lineup?
No.
No. Bill Parcells in a heartbeat. He looks like a football coach. Even look, Rob Saleh looks like a football coach.
Well, Rob
He's got the
Saleh's
whole.
in fucking shape. Rob Saleh looks like he could play.
So does Dan Campbell in Detroit. He's bigger than Rob Saleh is. He looks like Dan Campbell looks like one of those wrestlers.
Dan
like
Campbell last year in training camp did up downs with them.
Yeah.
He almost fucking hurt himself too. And like you could see it. It took everything he had.
I remember you talking about this on the air.
I couldn't have done one of them.
No, but you
this
talked
guy
about
did
this.
like 7 or 8 of them. I think
you talked about this on the air. I remember you saying
he got up and you could see he was like, oh
he was in pain.
God, but he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he.
I mean,
Daboll is not in shape like that, but Daboll's scary.
he is scary. He can tell that dude could lose his shoe.
Yeah,
He
like
does.
you can tell
Yeah,
as
you can
he's
tell.
walking around,
Yeah.
he's got a little bit of a fuse issue.
No, and look, to be a head coach, a leader of men, you got to have that. They have to know.
A leader of men.
A leader of men. They have to know. If I fuck up,
I'm the one in charge.
yeah, he's in charge, and you got to have that guy, or you can't be successful. You said it yourself. Rob Saleh's in awe of Aaron Rodgers. He can't be that way and be his coach. You said it yourself. So, my point is that, and we're going to segue into because I was going to ask him a question, and I want him to throw it back at me because, and look, I could be wrong on this. I stand, and if I am, just put it in the comments. I can't remember a season in recent memory that's had this many storylines in it. When you think about this league right now, there are more storylines. You could literally go to almost every team.
So many.
There's so many, and they're all good.
We got to each give 2
We can do 2.
because
But
there's a lot.
There's so many. I'm just saying. I'll tell you. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna, to be fair, we're gonna keep our teams out of it. Now, we'll talk about our teams later on. But not counting the Patriots and the Giants, in your case, the Giants. I want you to give me 2 that you're looking most forward to seeing how they start to unfold this Sunday. Give me any 2 in the league.
Just this Sunday or just the whole season?
Well, it's gonna start this Sunday. But think of 2 you're gonna be following all season that you're really intrigued about. See how they turn out.
Okay.
I think I know what one of them is.
So surprisingly, one of them is a revenge thing, and it's Sean Payton. I'm interested in what happens with the Broncos.
Did you see what he said? That I sent you guys that post today about he called out.
About what's
yeah.
Okay, and so I'm probably gonna get disappointed on this one, but because of how he talks shit about what's the coach's name from last year?
Nathaniel Hackett, who's the Jets OC now.
Right.
Yeah.
So the way he shit on him made me think, you know what? I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
So I want to see Denver go down, which I feel a little bad about because I don't want to see Russell Wilson get shitted on, but he's kind of become a toolbox anyway.
You know, there have been rumblings about him
For a while.
now from his former teammates.
Yeah.
And the one thing about what Peyton did today, I don't know if you saw the comment, but that Peyton just threw gasoline on a fire. Yeah. Because that tells me that what these guys were mumbling was real.
Who did Peyton say that to?
He said it to him.
But why did it get out into the press?
Well, because he said it at practice and the press heard it.
Oh.
They were on the field. He yelled it at him.
Really?
Yeah, this wasn't a secret behind closed doors thing. This was done in public.
Yeah.
And the press heard it. And what do you think they did? What do you think they ran right to the fucking, or if they're right there with their phone, they went, holy shit.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
You got to be aware of.
he confirmed something that a lot of Russell Wilson's former teammates have been mumbling for years.
Yeah. No, and we knew this because as soon as he signed, somebody asked him about Russell Wilson's coach,
Yeah.
right? Because Russell Wilson had like his own personal coach.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? He was walking into some building and they asked him like, "Hey, is Russell Wilson going to keep his personal quarterback coach or whatever it was?"
Masseuse and all, yeah.
And you could see like he didn't know that
Yeah.
because his eyes were like,
What? Yeah.
"No, we have team coaches." But it seemed like he got caught off guard by it.
I think he was.
All right, so I'm interested in that.
I think that was a genuine reaction.
It seemed like
I think it was.
And that was the start of him going, hold on, what does this fucking guy get?
Wow.
Okay, so interested about the Broncos.
Yeah, definitely.
Second one, okay. I mean, I have some interest in a fantasy candidate.
Of course.
But I'm gonna
And we're going to talk fantasy football, by the way.
I'm gonna slide that to the side because this is more about like storylines.
Okay. So, all right. What's up? All right. I'm just starting with think about. There's a lot.
I'm trying to give you my second one.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go way outside of like my division, all that.
Okay.
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, that's the one I think you were. I thought
And really all the young QBs, but Anthony Richardson, I want to see what he can do in Indianapolis.
Yes.
Just because he's one of those freakish talent guys. So I'd say Indy and Denver.
Okay. And listen, those two are going to be very intriguing to watch.
And those are like off the radar. So like I could randomly watch one of those games and actually enjoy it because I got something to think about.
I got news for you. This is what I'm talking about. Like you can go to every fucking team in this league right now, and there is a storyline. Whether it's what the hell's going to happen in Arizona with the fucking quarterback now, what are they doing?
That's the only one I really don't give a fuck about.
No, but that's a story because that guy. You know how much money they paid this dude?
I know, but
And now they're setting him up to fail.
But I wouldn't watch an Arizona game this year. Would you?
It depends on who they're playing.
But like, that's one storyline.
I'm not
that
just
I might
tuning
not
in to
care
watch
about.
Arizona by themselves, but am I curious to see what happens there? Absolutely. Because the kid's a talented player, and it looks like they're submarining him. It looks like they're submarining. They've gotten rid of everything. Like, what are you doing? It's like that team was a playoff team just 2 years ago.
It's almost like they went, "Oh God, we shouldn't have given him this contract," and now they're just
it's like, what are you
disassembling.
doing? It's like, what are you doing? You can't. And again, that's not. But you can't. If you put the money into a kid, you got to build around him. You can't. You've already made the investment.
Yeah.
You can't just tank that money.
And one old receiver is not.
No.
Remember they had what's his face, Hopkins.
Yeah.
They got Hopkins is still.
He's still viable.
He's a great receiver.
He's still good.
He is on the back end.
I get moving on from him at that age, although he's not over the hill, I don't think. But you got to replace him?
Yes.
What the fuck are you doing? I mean, so...
I'll take it back, though. One storyline against them that I'd be interested in. There's a show called, Cardinals Flight Plan.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing that new coach. I think it's the Eagles' old D coordinator, but I'm not sure. You know how the Eagles lost two coordinators?
Yeah,
one of them is the head coach in Arizona.
He's the head coach in Arizona.
I can't remember if it's the offensive guy I think it's the defensive guy.
The offensive guy is the Colts coach. He's the Colts head coach now.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So this guy kind of has like a bit of a nerdy look to him.
Yeah.
More McDaniel. Okay.
Josh McDaniel?
Yeah.
Or the guy in...
Yeah, the guy in Arizona has like a dorky look to him. And I saw this video where he's addressing...
Doesn't mean he's not a coach.
But to your point, didn't quite look like...
Doesn't quite look like a guy. See, I'm just saying. I'm not making this up. I'm just saying.
Again, he could be the greatest coach ever. Who knows?
He might be. Who knows?
So there's this show called Flight Plan, and he's on it, and he comes into the room, and he's like, show of hands. Who drove here? Who took the bus? Did you have a fire in your gut? Did you? Did you have a fire in your gut?
Did you, America?
I'm like, what?
What is he
doing?
doing?
The fuck are you talking about? Did you drive here? Did you take the bus? None of these millionaires took the bus, first of all. Second of all...
They probably own one.
Right. Second
they might have been driven in their own private bus or maybe with their entourage.
Yeah, maybe the guys who haven't made the team yet that you're probably treating like shit.
Maybe the rookies.
Right.
Yeah, the 4th and 5th round draft picks.
Oh, no, they got money too. They didn't get big money, but they got money. But, like, it was almost like people didn't know where he was going. And he was just...
I still don't know where he's going.
All he was trying to ask was, like, did you have a fire in your gut? Were you excited? Were you nervous? Were you passionate, ready to go as you came here today? But why are you asking if you took the bus or the car?
I don't know.
It was it fell so flat, and the whole room was just like you could tell people were almost nervous because they were like,
what the fuck is he
what
talking
is he
about?
getting at?
Is this going to be on the test?
Is he crazy?
Is this going to be on the test later?
Did you have fire in your gut? Well, did you?
Yeah, I had. You know what? I had tacos. I had tacos for lunch, and I washed it down with a gallon of gin.
Right.
I'll be in and out all
Fire
afternoon.
in the belly.
Fire in the belly. So yeah.
All right. So you said Arizona, which is probably the worst story. Who are your two?
I don't think Arizona's the worst one.
Come on.
It's not.
No. All right. After you pick your two good ones, we'll go with the worst.
The reason Arizona's not because they have a franchise quarterback. They think they did, and they spent all that money on. That's interesting.
But he's hurt. Starting the season on the pup.
I know, and they cut Colt McCoy. What are you trying to do?
Ah, shit.
I'm curious. What'd you do? Right?
Bang my elbow.
Yeah. So.
All right. So what are your two top?
I'll tell you what.
And don't go NFC or AFC East.
No, I said listen, no. My two. And again, you literally can pick any team in this league, and
except Arizona.
No, even that one has a story. I would say my two, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, that team is coming. Calvin Ridley will be the number one receiver by the middle of the first quarter. He is a walking 1,400-yard guy.
Is he really?
Yes, he is.
I got him in fantasy.
And he did that without the weapons that he has around him now.
And
he didn't have that dude. And by the way, here's the other thing.
That dude is
that dude. Is that dude. Okay? And this is going to shock you, he is the closest thing to Brady that I've seen. Say what you want. Disagree all you want.
Did you forget about Daniel?
No, I didn't. And I like Danny Dimes a lot. If it wasn't,
I'm kidding.
If it wasn't for this guy, I think Danny Dimes gonna have a great year too. But this dude is coming. Okay, and the best part about him is he's not pulling he's just doing his job, and that's why he reminds me of Brady. No one's been talking about Trevor Lawrence. No one. Think about that. They were in the divisional round. They took KC right down to the wire, and they just gave him this dude.
Drafted another running back.
He's in year 2 with this offense. He's got a former quarterback as a coach who's going to unleash him this year.
Resign the tight end.
I'm telling you right now. And by the way, they play in the easiest division. They're going to be the one team in the AFC that cakewalks into the playoffs.
Which could be a good thing because they could slap somebody around after a bye.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are coming.
You think they're going to get a bye?
Yep, I do.
Hold on, but you got to be number one.
Actually,
seed.
look at KC's in a much tougher division than they are. And let me ask.
And they're down Chris Jones.
They're down Kelsey potentially. And by the way, the division got better. Denver, just by adding that coach, got better, and they already had a tough defense.
Their wide receiving core.
They lost Juju Smith-Schuster. Who did they replace him with? He was almost 1,000 yards last year.
Didn't they pick up another Green Bay guy?
I don't know, but they didn't have anybody they brought in didn't have Juju's resume. Juju had a 1,400-yard season before he got to KC.
They drafted a receiver.
And again, I don't know how good he is, but I don't know if he's Juju Smith-Schuster either. So the thing is,
probably not.
And they lost their. Look at Chris. Don't listen. Everybody's talking about this.
That's the best player on that defense.
This is the second best player on that team, besides Patrick Mahomes.
Well, no, Kelsey's second.
He's better than Kelsey. Yep, he is. He was better.
All right, we're splitting hairs.
I'm not saying Kelsey's not great.
That's a silly argument.
I'm just saying. I would argue he is the second most important player on that team because that defense without him is nothing.
Yeah, and Mahomes could pull them through with all those.
Yeah, Mahomes will find a way around Kelsey if he can't play because he has other ways. Mahomes will check it down. Mahomes can run.
Scantling. That's a Green Bay guy. I knew they got.
Who?
Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore, man.
Kadarius Toney, maybe. We'll say.
But he can't stay on the field.
No, he can't stay healthy.
If he plays 17 games, yes.
Which he has yet to do.
That's a big time if.
He has yet to do. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying Kelsey's not important. Don't mistake. To me, Kelsey's the third most important player on that team. It's Chris Jones, then it's him.
It's really splitting hairs.
No, it isn't because that guy is your defense. If Kelsey comes out, you still have Patrick Mahomes.
I know, but Kelsey
there's no other guy on that defense.
But Kelsey is that one. He's critical.
Patrick Mahomes will throw for 300 yards without him.
You're probably right.
He will. Okay, he just will. Okay,
but he just demands so much in the middle, that it helps that offense. I'm not
saying he's not important. I'm saying this dude is your defense.
Yeah.
That defense goes from good to without him. Detroit's offense was already high octane. What do you think they're going to do tomorrow night? I got news for you. The Detroit Lions are winning tomorrow night. If Kelsey doesn't play, they're winning.
Well,
they're winning. And they were going to, by the way,
Without Chris Jones.
if Kelsey did play, they were going to put up 40 points on that defense anyway. Just Mahomes and Kelsey might
without what's his face.
Yeah, Mahomes and Kelsey might put up 44. Although here's the thing, I think Detroit defense is better this year than people give them credit for because they were much better the second half of the season and they drafted that way in the offseason. They addressed their needs in the draft. Detroit did that, which is why everybody is so high on them.
I'd like to see the second year of this defense in Kansas City because they had a ton of youth.
4 starters,
Super Bowl.
4 rookie starters in the Super Bowl.
I mean, so bringing those guys back with that confidence, maybe Kansas City's defense is better, but without Chris Jones now.
If you have no pass rush,
right? Without Chris Jones, that
if
totally fucks them.
I don't give a shit who your secondary is. If you have no pass rush, you are vulnerable. Because if that quarterback has time, there is no secondary on this planet that can cover for 7 seconds.
Yeah, and I don't really
There is
know.
no secondary that can do that.
I don't know.
Not even the Legion of Boom could do that.
I don't know anyone else on that defense except for Chris Jones. Do you know any names?
They used to have Honey Bear, but he's gone.
Honey Badger?
Honey Badger. He was the safety there.
Not for a while though, right?
A couple years. He was on the first Super Bowl team. But the point is, that dude is your defense. It's like losing the Patrick Mahomes. He's the Patrick Mahomes of your defense. Put it that way.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. So
All right,
anyway,
so first storyline
storyline is the Jaguars. They're coming. The second storyline for me, it is the Detroit Lions. Because again, I think their defense is going to take a monumental leap this year. And people have been sleeping on Jared Goff long enough, and I think he's going to, with that running back, that kid is for real too. That running back they drafted is for real. I think the Detroit Lions are going to scare people this year. They're a legitimate threat, and they haven't been a legit threat since Barry Sanders. They haven't been a legit threat since Barry Sanders. They don't, as good as Matthew Stafford was, that team didn't scare anybody. When Barry Sanders was in that backfield, they scared people. This team is scary. Okay, and I think they are going to win at least 11 games. I think they're going to run away with that division, and they're going to be whoever draws them in the playoffs is going to regret doing it. So, and the question is, how much of a leap does that defense take? If it takes a big one, look out.
I forgot they signed Gardner Johnson from the Eagles. That was a good sign.
It was a good sign. They went after. They knew what their problems were, and they went after them. Okay.
I don't know anybody on their defense except Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, who was
the DN they drafted last
Michigan,
year.
who was the defensive player of the year in college football. Yeah.
Yeah, he was nasty.
He was nasty. He had a good rookie year.
He did.
So I'm telling you that it's the Jaguars for me and them. And look, there's a lot of other storylines, but those two to me, those two are going to really scare people this year. Both those teams, and again, we don't know about injuries, but if they stay reasonably healthy, those two teams are going to be a legit threat to come out of the conference. So those are my two.
You know what division they're paired with?
Who?
To play in the NFC?
AFC South.
NFC South.
Who the AFC is?
What?
The AFC South?
No, so Detroit.
Oh, the NFC North is
paired with the NFC South.
Okay.
So they get the Falcons.
Yeah.
They get the Bucks.
The Saints.
They get the Saints, and they get the Panthers.
Yeah. The Saints have a legit quarterback.
Saints are good now.
The Saints have a legit quarterback for the first time. They're going to be good.
If they don't win that division, that's a failure for them, in my opinion.
It should be because they have Tampa has the defense, but they don't have the quarterback.
No way.
They have two good weapons on the outside.
Atlanta has a shot to win that division. Other than the Saints, Atlanta's the only team I see with a chance.
I think every team in that division is playing for second if the Saints stay healthy.
They should be. That's how it should go.
And by the way, there's another story. There's some kid named Bryce Young in Carolina. You may have heard of him.
C.J. Stroud in Texas.
C.J. Stroud in Texas. I'm telling you, you can go to every damn team in this league, and there's a legit storyline.
Here's another one I don't care about, but it is a storyline. Jimmy G in Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't care, but some people will be excited.
Well, no, but he worked with McDaniels before in New England. They had success together. They know each other. He plays an offense that Jimmy G was good in. He's got a number one, a legit number one. But now we're hearing Chandler Jones, the defensive land. He doesn't want to play for him anymore. Like there's throwing a log on the fire, America. As if there aren't enough storylines in week one. Now their best defensive player don't want to play for him anymore.
Sounds like he was throwing a tantrum. Dude, but look at the whole NFC North.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm interested in what happens with the Vikings. I think people are trashing them, and they're actually going to win that division this year.
No, they're not. That defense sucks.
I think they're going to win it.
How?
Because
they have
that
less
division's
weapons on
not that
offense.
good. No, that's not true.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They didn't replace Dalvin Cook.
He was aging.
They did not replace Dalvin Cook.
He was aging.
He was aging. He's 28.
He was aging.
His numbers last year don't speak of aging. Ezekiel Elliott is aging. He looks like he's aging. That one I give you. But he's a backup now. That's fine.
Well, I like this second receiver they drafted. Love their tight end.
Tight end's good.
Love Justin Jefferson.
Hate the defense.
I think
that defense.
I think
sucks.
they're going to win that division. Still.
No, they are not.
Everybody's sleeping on them.
They can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop a nosebleed. And by the way, Kirk Cousins has never won a fucking thing in his life. Okay, and that's not going to change. Kirk Cousins is still that quarterback.
I'm betting on Big Kirk.
You're betting on a guy.
I'm betting on Big Kirk this year.
No one has ever bet on.
Well, it changes this year.
And
it changes this year.
You know why no one's ever bet on America?
Because they don't have the balls to lose like a champ.
Yeah, because they want to keep their money.
They don't have the balls to be a contrarian.
We're going to take a break. We're going to find segment 2. We're going to do a fantasy football.
Fuck, we didn't even finish football.
We're not finished. We're going to go back and we're going to talk fantasy football in segment 2.
I know, but we didn't do our picks for all the divisions.
We can still do that.
Okay.
We can do that too. We're not going. Where are you? Are you going anywhere?
10:30.
Oh, baby, gotta go to Betty Bye.
Yes. Big baby needs sleep.
Are you going to the office tomorrow?
Yes.
I thought you were home tomorrow.
No. I didn't go in on Tuesday because coming off the holiday on Monday, I was like, not going in. So I went in today, and I got to go in tomorrow because got to go in 2 days a week, fella.
Go in Friday.
You can't go in Friday. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Hang on a second. Let me check a couple of scores on the baseball front before we sign off. Mets lost to the Nats
today. In other words, you've already signed off.
Mets lost to the Nats today, which is a good thing.
Oh, boy.
They're playing their youngins. They're doing stuff. They got walked off. Hopefully, it's so weird how much more enjoyable it is to watch them when it's meaningless. Because I can tune it's kind of like the storylines thing we were talking about in the NFL.
Yeah, huh?
Do you hear me over there?
I do. It's kind of like the storyline we're talking about in the NFL.
Because so I can just watch the Mets and okay, they finally called Mauricio up. Mm-hmm. I can just watch his at bats and be like, oh, he looks good, or I can watch him make a play in the field and be like,
so for you, this is like an extended preseason.
Right. It's almost like I know they can't win. Losses only.
Well, they shouldn't win now.
Losses only help them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when they win, I'm not. It's cool too.
It should be in full tank mode.
Like yesterday was the first time.
The New York Mets should not win another game this season.
Yeah, but see, now they got all these young kids and they're playing hard, and I like it. They had 5 homegrown young guys: Alvarez, Beatty, Mauricio, Vientos.
Are you gonna like picking 17th?
Gives a fuck. You don't even see the pick for another.
You're the one who brought it up.
I know, but but I think, look, if it happens, great. If they keep losing, great. But if these young guys come together and actually perform well, and it means they win, I'm good for that.
So fuck Blowalter is finally playing the kids?
Yeah. Because there's no other
That is
excuse.
news.
There's no
That
other
is news,
excuse.
America.
It's true.
Okay.
Let the kids play. That's what the people on Twitter have been saying all year. Let the kids play.
Suck Shithalter is finally fucking playing the young kids after he wouldn't do it for 2 fucking years.
Wonder why he doesn't have a World Series.
Not hard to figure out, America.
Yikes.
Anyway,
101 wins to 70.
Segment 2, we are going to pick the division winners, and we're going to break down our Week 1 fantasy football for the guys in the sack. We'll do a little, and we're going to go through those games, and we're each going to take a team, and we're going to pick 1 or 2 guys off the bench. You might want to think about starting a little tidbit for you guys in fantasy football. So hang on, grab a cold one, or find Yoda, Betty, Joe Boo. We're going to find them. But the Holy Trinity is in the house tonight, boys and girls, and we will see you on the other side, segment 2. Don't go anywhere.
I'm going to go get the papers.
Get the papers. Until then.